We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are going to give away some prizes, and we're going to have some conversations exploring the issues of life, the questions that have come into the show, and the crazy things that have been going on around the world. Suze, we're going to start by, I guess it's almost a follow-up to the last session's question about taking constructive criticism, or when someone's being a little bit brutal or mean, then how do you actually go about responding? Well, this is kind of taking it to another level. So.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to look at it from a different perspective.
Not just coping, but actually responding in a positive way. We're going to get to that and a whole lot more, giving away some prizes just by getting to know you a little bit more. We've got a special new game or two we're going to play. The Luke and Susie quotable in just moments, and it's talking about insanity.
It's Luke and Susie with Faith, Family, Culture. Luke and Susie with you. We're broadcasting from Greece.
What's the wise words of someone from yesteryear? Well, let's kick in with a question from Michelle, which is, what is the best way to be honourable to people who are totally out to bring you down? Suze, this is going, okay, it's not just coping, it's not just surviving, it's not just getting through, but how do we actually be honourable? Wow, Michelle's raised the bar here, Suze.
100%. And, you know, I've got my answer, which is going to sound great.
Right.
But
you don't do it.
I think the challenge is getting things from theory to practice.
Yeah.
When it comes to how we treat people, because I think the way we treat people in an ideal world, the way we treat others is never dictated by the way they treat us. That we have a standard in our life of, this is the way I'm going to respond and interact with people, and this is how I want them to feel when they encounter me. And you know, whether that's I want them to feel, you know, some joy, or I want them to feel valued, or whatever it might be that we want to instill in others. But unfortunately, I think in reality, when someone is deliberately, it seems, trying to bring you down, it is really hard to actually maintain that standard that we might have.
Yeah, I have a simple sort of mechanism where that enables me to do it, and that is I bless them. In my head, underneath my breath, I go, bless you. I mean, really. No. It's this funny thing where I have to do something just aggressive in my head so that I can be kind outward. It's like, you know, have you ever done the thing where you've written the email that you want to, with everything you want to say, and then you highlight and delete it, and then you write the one that you need to, the right thing? Like, it's almost like a version of that. Like, I just have to give myself permission to be brutal in my head, get it out, and then actually be honourable in my action.
And I think we all wish we had that auto edit going on between our brain and our mouths sometimes to stop us saying things that we'll end up regretting because of the way they treated us.
Or like if you play Kahoot and you put a name, when you choose your name on the Kahoot game, and it's a little bit dodgy or close to a dodgy word, it will just asterisk it out or just blot it out.
Yeah.
And so it's like we would be consistently censored. All right, let's get to some thoughts on this one. It'll be interested to know the best way to be honourable to people who are totally out to bring you down.
It's a tricky one, isn't it, Tracy? Do you have any thoughts or tips or tricks on how you managed to get through a challenge of someone trying to bring you down?
I was actually hoping you wouldn't ask me first. Oh, look, I agree. Look, from getting it from the head or the heart to the head and out the mouth is really hard. And I think sometimes it can be hard because I've got someone who's like that, and I try to stay away from them. But at the same time, I know I need to pray for them because they're only doing that out of their own hurt. Yes. And I think that's something we've got to remember, because they're usually responding out of hurt. So I think that's where we really need to go to God and pray.
Yes.
And we listen to them. Now, sometimes it's hard too, because I tell my 17-year-old daughter that if someone keeps bringing her down and putting her down and being negative, she probably needs to disassociate from that person, but still pray for them.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's trying to turn the conversation around with them as well, saying, hey, what's happening? Or, you know, is there a way I can pray for you? Now, it's harder if it's a non-Christian, although they can stop talking to you altogether. So that could be a thing. But, it really is hard because
I'm glad you raised about praying for them, because I think when you genuinely and sincerely pray the best for another person, it gets harder to hold on to the bitterness.
Yeah. And look, forgiveness, prayer and forgiveness, and we're not perfect either. It comes down to that, doesn't it? We're not perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but there's something going on in their life, and they need prayer.
Well, let's get some more thoughts on this. What's the best way to be honourable to people who seem totally out to bring you down? Trish, I mean, come on, you will have all the answers for us. Solve the problem.
I was also hoping you didn't come to me, but I think in a way, like, over my life, I've always tried to step back before I respond, like, and try and step out of the situation a little bit and just take a minute, like, even if it's only a second, but try not to just respond out of the spur of the moment, like, because if you just let your mouth go, you'll regret so much. Yeah. So I think that even though it's the easy way is just to let it all out and attack back, if you can try and just take that little step back and see it, like, look at the whole picture a little bit more before you actually answer, I think that's sort of being honourable, because it's not just retaliating. I always try and react and not react. I always try and relate. So if you don't react to a situation, it goes a lot better for you than if you retaliate or, react to the situation. If you can actually just, it's hard.
Well, it's interesting because what you and also Tracy have actually highlighted is this concept of building your empathy, building your understanding, putting yourself in their shoes as to, okay, there's more than just how they've treated me going on. And the better I can understand what might be going on for them, the easier it will be for me to act with honor, because I'm not just acting out of my own hurt, I'm acting out of my empathy towards their situation and whatever's going on for them.
And I think Kelly takes what you said even that step further and says don't talk about them, that they'll kind of end up being their own undoing with that kind of malicious intent. But it doesn't serve us in any way to then go on and gossip and spread bad things about them.
The more you talk about someone and the issue and what happened, and it just brews stuff in you, and especially if you've got a listening ear of someone that's actually on your side, they're going to completely agree with what you're saying, and they're going to add their own 2 cents worth, and then it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Yeah. Whereas if you just can avoid that situation, you're going to go out of it a lot better.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, Suze, we pray for them in a passive-aggressive way. Dear Lord, help them to see the error of their ways, that they have made so many mistakes and how poorly they've treated me. Help them not to get what is coming to them. But, we can just become passive-aggressive in our prayers.
Yeah, and then what happens is you get this big pang in your heart of conviction.
Or a wife slapping you saying, stop praying that way.
Oh. Sorry, go on, Trish.
Sorry, the best prayer that you ever need to pray anytime is, God, I need wisdom. That's the best prayer you can, especially as a parent. God, I need wisdom right now.
Short and sweet, and he goes, okay, I get it. Yeah. I can hear the pain in that prayer. Hey, thanks so much, Trish. Appreciate it. We're going to play a game very, very soon, but let's get through one more question before we start to give away some prizes. This question has come through. In fact, I believe this is prompted by producer Semi, who I'm going to chuck on the mic. Producer Semi, you are the ultimate Hallmark girl. You love your romantic, feel-good, kind of sweet, soppy, not based in real life kind of movies.
I feel like there's a but and I'm being attacked. I'm waiting for it.
No. So, therefore, I'd be interested that this is a question or a concept that's come from you about taking something from a movie and adapting it to your own life. How many Hallmark movie opportunities do you have to adapt to your life?
Not enough.
Yeah.
What did you
do you know why it is, Sammy? It's because you're not a baker in a little country town.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm not or a big city girl who can move to the country to meet that country person.
Oh, you haven't inherited a little country lodge somewhere that needs renovation.
Can I just have an aunt or uncle somewhere that just wants to give me their house? That'd be great.
But don't they normally have to pass away? So therefore it starts with the sadness and the funeral, or
But if I don't know them,
well, that's it.
Yeah.
Because half the time they don't really know. So why do I get left everything? Yeah, that's good. We've just summarized every Hallmark movie.
They're lovely, and it's
great.
why you're so lovely, because you don't fill your mind with terrible, terrible things like Luke watches.
Okay, don't take everything as an opportunity to bring up my streaming playlist. Sammy,
Yes.
what have you seen in a movie that you've actually started to do in real life?
well, funny enough, it was not in a Hallmark movie.
Right.
So it was in I think that's called Up Entertainment, but it's a Christian-based movie, and it was a Jewish father and a girl coming into her faith. But something that they practice as a family is every time they heard ambulance sirens, they would pray for the people in the ambulance, the family, the actual medics, just as like an extra booster, because obviously if the sirens are going, then there's a situation.
Yeah.
So they hear it and they use the opportunity to lift them up. And I was like, that is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
imagine you just hear it, and it could be that little bit of just
Yeah.
lifting it, bringing it to God's attention, and like maybe whether or not it makes
Yeah.
a difference, but it feels like, yeah, you can make that dire
Yeah.
situation a little bit easier.
This is not going to
That's
be
cool.
nice for me, because I can only think of one thing I actually
No.
did, and it was because I watched Kickboxer, and so I started doing martial arts because I wanted to kick things.
Oh.
That's,
Okay.
It could have. Like Susie's relieved. Go. It could be worse.
Yeah. Well, you've watched a lot of serial killer docos, so it could actually be very much worse. Yes.
Nah. All right. Have you ever, Suze, taken something from a movie and started to do it in real
Okay.
life?
No, but sometimes I've sort of taken things from a movie and applied them a little bit. For example, sometimes in a movie you'll see a mum with a really cool skincare regimen, and she's, talking to whoever while she's doing her face routine. And I think, I really should take better care of my skin. Or there'll be a great joke in a movie and I'll use it immediately on my children.
As if it's your joke.
As if it's my joke.
Not say,
yes.
hey, I saw this in a movie.
No,
but
I just use it like
Yeah.
it's my joke.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. And how does that work for you?
Really well, because they're very, very gullible.
And it must be funny. It wasn't a movie.
Yeah, exactly. If I laugh, they'll laugh. That's right.
All right, let's get some thoughts. Have you ever seen something in a movie and adapted it, started to do it in real life, or as our kids would say, IRL?
IRL, Deb. Have you ever seen something in a movie that's prompted you to do something differently?
I can't say that I've seen something and actually put it into action. Sammy, talking about the sirens and things, because our house is over the helicopter rescue flight path, and my husband's a fiery, I've always prayed when I've heard sirens and things like that. But sitting here thinking about what have I seen that's made me perhaps adapt? No, but I can think of some fun things that I've seen that would be great to try. Like in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when they make this huge mold model out of the mashed potatoes. Like, I think that would be fun to play with the mashed potatoes and do something like that. Or, jump into the swimming pool that's filled with all those little round balls that float and just see what that feels like. So there's some fun things that you could add to your bucket list. But as far as actually doing something, I can't really think of something.
Do you know one thing I always think I'd love to do? And that is, like, any family movie that you watch and they sit around the dinner table and there's always multiple dishes of lots of different types of food available on the table, and everybody just serves themselves as they sit at the table. I love the idea of doing that. I just don't like the energy of having to do
To
it.
cook it all.
Yeah.
The big drama. Let me tell you, on YouTube, RB, this is going to be tough to beat. Tony Soprano told his son AJ to buy land because God ain't making any more of it. So I went out and bought land.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's a big real life response to it.
That's-
And it's the Sopranos. Like, this is
That's amazing.
He got some gangster advice that God ain't making any more land, and he went out and bought property.
Wow.
That's huge. Thanks, RB, for your
That's
comment there.
fantastic.
Stay in touch in the chat. We'd love to get your messages.
Trish, have you ever been impacted by a movie in a way that it made you change something in your life?
Sort of. I'm a big Christmas person, as you know, and watch a lot of Christmas movies. So there has been some things that I've seen on there, like a Christmas morning tradition or something like that, that I've thought, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. We should do that. And we've tried to implement things. And I've also, it's not a movie, but I've watched a reality TV show. It's a Christian one. And they have, instead of Valentine's Day, they call it I Love You Day. And so they actually have like a themed event where everyone comes and gets dressed up and everyone exchanges gifts with everyone, and it's kids and families and it's all together. And so we have actually, like, this Valentine's Day just passed, we tried to implement a version of that for our smallest family. And we, like, the kids bought presents for us. They're only 4 and 7, the grandkids. And, you know, my daughter and her partner were here and we had dinner together. And, yeah, so it's not a movie, but it's something that we tried to adapt.
Yeah, I love that. That's brilliant.
This one,
It's
Christmas
funny,
Stars. Christmas Stars is one you got to watch as a Christmas fan. That's the one I've thought about implementing. So there's a movie, Christmas Stars, what he does, and I think you'd love that. Sarah said, when I have had a bad day, I use the method from the whole 9 yards. I smack the steering wheel and get my frustrations out before I go home or go out. Depends on the situation. Just abusing the car steering wheel just to get it out of the system.
All right.
Hey, if you're going to pick up something from a movie, that's a pretty good one. Vanessa has what she wishes she could do and what she actually has done. I'd like to say I do stunts like on Mission Impossible movies, but no, none of those. I do occasionally pay it forward when I receive something that's good or kind from someone.
And Joe mentioned about that whole pay it forward concept as well. That's a good one.
Well, it's been great to get your thoughts. We want to play a spontaneous game, and I'm going to choose Tracy to play the game. Tracy, we're going to get you up on screen, and we're going to give you a chance to win in a special game that's getting to know you.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. Getting to know all about you.
All right.
This is rapid fire questions, Tracy. I'm going to throw 5 of them at you, and you have to answer as quickly as possible the 5 questions I give you.
Okay. We're going to go. We've got 30 seconds maximum. We should be fine.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
But here's
for
the thing.
one question, 30 seconds for one. Yep.
No, 5 questions. Say, don't mess with the rules, Tracy. Don't mess with me.
Okay, go.
Stop it, Tracy. I've pre-answered. And on the back of that, if you and I have at least 3 in common, I'm going to give you $50 to spend at program sponsor gracefyme.com on gifts of meaning to give to someone. So all we're going to do is get 3 the same. All right?
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Starts now.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
More movie or book?
Book.
Early morning or late night?
Neither. Late night then.
Late night. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
That's it. You did it.
Well, okay. Now let's.
But I got a feeling Luke's. No. You're a dog people, but I had to answer honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did, and you did beautifully.
Yeah.
I like cats too.
So, dog is what I said. So no comparison there. I said winter, but I'm actually gravitating. There's a part of me go, I want to say summer now, but I used to love but summer, great fishing conditions and more sunlight, and so. But I did write winter. I said
That's
movie.
fine.
I said early morning, although typically I'm a late night person. But again, I like the what's going on in my life. I'm a bit more energized in the morning. And just to give it up, we didn't get any the same, but we did. We said sweet.
Oh, I was going to say there should be a bonus prize for having.
You know what? If I had thought, what will Luke think, which I should have done, I would have got them all right.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to give you
because I know you.
I'm going to give you the $50 anyway to spend.
Oh, you don't have to, but thank you.
No, I don't have to, but I'm being nice. I'm trying to be nice, Tracy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No,
for me.
don't, because I've been working
to
become nice for years, Tracy, and finally he's getting it.
Hey, congratulations. We'll get producer Sammy to get you those details. And
thanks a lot.
On gifts for somebody.
Thanks for playing.
As we get into a question from Yolanda, and it's actually just about everyday activity. We're going to do this in just a few moments' time, but Daniel Wordsworth, who's a message that we hear on our show, he's an incredible man, passionate about making a difference. We spoke to him just recently while he was on the ground in Ukraine, and he's in there helping people in the midst of that crisis. But this was a challenge he left for us.
You might not believe it, but the world is better than you think. Hi, I'm Daniel Wordsworth, CEO of World Vision. Now, I don't say this in a naive way. In the past 30 years, I've been in East Timor, Afghanistan, Darfur, Somalia, refugee camps, feeding clinics, and Ebola treatment units. Places that seem to be defined by scarcity and suffering. And I have witnessed some of the worst things that people have done to each other. Yet the greatest thing I have learned is that our power to do good far outweighs the bad in the world. It's the small things that divide us. But the thing that unites us is the highest thing. We are all human beings, and deep down we know that humans are wondrous. So I make a humble challenge and I ask that you engage in an act of belief. If you knew the world was better for having you in it, what would you do? What would you go and do right now, today?
Station sponsor.
Whew, such a good challenge.
Never gets
I
old.
love it.
Every day I need to be challenged by that wonderful stuff. Yolanda has asked, what is your favourite low-cost family activity that everyone enjoys? And I was just about instinctively, when I saw this question, I went, of course, it'll be fishing. And then I realized, one, not everybody in our family enjoys it. And two, it's not specifically low cost at the moment as I'm buying gear. So, and then the more things we lose in the ocean because we catch everything like snags except for fish, Suze. Low cost activity for our family. What is it that everyone enjoys? Playing Kahoot?
Yeah, Kahoot's good.
Yep.
I think, and board games generally,
Yep.
our family enjoys. But I said the beach because you and Toby like to go to fish.
Yep.
Royden and Cozy like to go to run around. I like to walk on it, and Tice just enjoys being down there in the fresh air. So I think it's something that we enjoy it for different reasons, but we all love the beach.
Yeah, the reality is we all really enjoy camping, even though like sometimes the weather's different. The kids might occasionally, Tyson in particular.
Yes, that's right. I like camping in the dry. Yes.
You like camping in the dry. Yeah. If it rains, so you go, not everyone's enjoying this, Luke. All right, let's get some thoughts. Low cost family activities. Let's go to Debbie. Debbie, is there a particular low cost family activity that you guys have enjoyed?
I would have to say picnics.
Yeah,
you can make your own food, so that cuts out the cost that way. But you can make everyone's favourite thing, and you can go for a little drive and explore the area that you're in, or you can just take it to the local park and have a picnic. And we have, when our kids were a lot smaller, in the middle of the winter, we will throw the picnic blanket out and have a picnic in the lounge room on the floor.
That's a good idea.
Just so it's something nice that we do together. But picnics would be the winner, I'd say.
Yes. Oh, that's
nice.
beautiful.
When was the last time we had a picnic, Sis?
It's been a while. I was just thinking that. It's been a little while. And part of it's been about just comfort levels of sitting on the ground. But other than that, I think it's something we could enter back into the routine of things we do.
Yeah.
Trish, what's the low-cost family activity that everyone in your family enjoys?
Swimming. Like going to where we live in Townsville, there's a couple of free local pool things. Like we've got what's called Riverway, which has got 2 large pool areas, and then there's playgrounds and stuff like that there as well. And then down at the Strand, there's a free water park that everyone can go to. So they're lots and lots of fun for everyone, and we take a barbecue dinner. Doesn't have to be fancy, but doesn't cost much as well. So, yeah, we definitely like that sort of stuff. And then we live in Townsville, which is super hot. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Tracy, how about you? What's the favourite low-cost family activity in your home?
What we used to do when the kids were little was the picnic thing, but we'd do it on the trampoline. Just all of a sudden, even if it was meat pies for dinner or something, we'd take it out on the trampoline and eat it. And it was fun. But the picnics, now the girls are older, it's a bit harder. Like teenagers don't want to do anything as a family. Look, games nights or movie nights with, homemade popcorn and little treats and getting something special, just those sort of things. So
yeah, actually movie nights would be on ours as well.
That's our favourite, I think, now even.
Every part of me wants to set up a trampoline picnic, Suze. And then while everyone's settled, then jump.
You can jump. And I can see you doing that, Luke.
Everyone who hears it goes, yes, he would. That's not just all talk. That's what he would do.
Alison said bushwalking and a picnic. And
Yeah.
we've actually done quite a few bushwalks together
Yeah.
as a family. I don't know that everyone enjoys them while we're doing them, but everyone feels good at the afterwards.
Yeah.
Like
it
after
was
we've done
the scones with jam and cream after the bushwalk that I think we typically enjoyed more than the actual walk itself, Sue.
Yeah, the last one we went on, I had this apple pie. It was glorious.
Yes, that's it. Because all of our exercise experiences are remembered by the food we ate afterwards. We love it when you're in touch. Now, right now, you can just get onto, be on the Facebook or YouTube and type into the comments, and we'll be able to see what you've got to say, which will be absolutely fantastic if you're in the Luke and Susie community on Facebook. If you're not, then make sure you go search up Luke and Susie community on the Facebook groups and come join us and chat every single day. We're going to play another little game of getting to know you. We're going to play with Trish.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Trish, while you have been a long-time member of the Luke and Susie community, we haven't seen you for a while, so we want to play Getting to Know You and give you a chance to win $50 to spend at program sponsor gracefyme.com to give a nice gift to somebody. So, Trish, are you ready to play? Susie's going to bombard you.
5 questions, 30 seconds. It's an absolute fire round.
All right, let's see how much you and I have in common on the answer to these questions. I've pre-answered them as well.
Okay.
How do you think we'll go? Do you think we'll having...
I have a husband very similar to you, so I'm hoping that I can think that way.
Oh, no, don't answer for you, but let's just see.
Okay.
Just see how many we have in common. All right, Suze, we ready to start the timer?
Ready to go.
Your time, 30 seconds, more than enough time, starts now.
Beach or pool?
Pool.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Board games or video games?
Board games.
Text message or phone call?
Text message.
Plans or surprises?
Plans.
That's it.
How many do you think we had in common? Now you know the questions, Trish.
I think 3.
3. Okay. All right. Well, let's go through.
I think you picked video games, not board games.
Okay. You said pool, and I would have said pool for all of my life until recently, and I said beach now because I not only get to swim, because she didn't say swim, she said beach or pool, and but the beach gives me the ability to fish, so I can swim and fish, whereas the pool, if I'm fishing and pulling something out, it's probably my children. I said chocolate. You said vanilla. You said board game. I said board games.
Ooh.
And because it's not necessarily what I play most of, but it's certainly what I would prefer to play. If I got the choice and the option, I'd rather be social and have fun with my family than to play a computer game by myself. Text versus calls. You said text. I said text.
Yes.
Plans versus what?
Surprises.
Surprises. I said plans.
Yeah.
You were smashing it. $50 to spend with gifts to meeting is all yours, Trish.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
We're pretty much the same. Like we are the same person.
Scary thought.
In the same room at the same time?
I have not.
No.
I mean, I see you both on the same screen at the same time right now.
Yes, but that could be a digital illusion. Fake news, Suze. Fake news. Under the desk, I've got a hand that looks like Trish. And I'm
puppet.
I'm a ventriloquist. Congratulations, Trish. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
All right, our next topic is a question that's come through about getting a little bit sentimental. Now, she says, like, I have a Dutch Bible dated 1892 with the reading glasses and glasses case and baptizing gown over 150 years old, and that makes sentimental. So do you have anything that gets you that? Actually, you have a lot of things that get you sentimental.
Well, it's interesting because I have got some, like I have my grandmother's pearls and I have my grandmother's an old box of my grandmother's and even chairs of my grandmother's.
Yeah.
And so I've got some old things, and whenever my mum pulls out her grandfather's medals and diary, that always is exciting for us.
Yeah.
And I know you've loved reading that
Yeah,
diary. Luke.
that diary, it was amazing.
It is amazing.
Just
But as far as an emotional, sentimental response, at the point I'm at in life right now, it's photos of my babies when they were babies, and there's no regret. It's just sort of remembering that. Really, I see that period almost with this golden haze around it now, because we tried so long to have children, and when I look at the photos, I still remember the pain that it took for us to get there.
Yeah.
And then I get to enjoy the children that they are now. And then there was this magical moment where we first got to meet them. And that makes me sentimental.
So I think you could get sentimental with a dirty tissue in the right environment.
100%.
Like if
it's about crying, oh yeah.
Yeah, if you were cleaning out the kids' room when they're 18 and you find a tissue that has obviously been under there for 15 years. Oh my gosh, they blew their nose on this when they were 5. Oh,
it would probably be more regret that I've done a bad job.
Cleaning. I think, for me, I don't know. Sentimental is an interesting term. Nostalgic for sure. Moved, yes, but what makes it sentimental? Is it like I'm struggling with? Do I have sentimental moments versus nostalgic moments? Yes, kids' memories on Facebook and pictures of them as little kids and go, oh my gosh, they've grown up so fast. I guess that's sentimental. Sammy, you would be a bleeding heart sentimental, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But I was actually thinking of this question. Everyone, yes, was saying something from their grandmother, something that's nostalgic. I have a very unique item that makes me sentimental because it's representative of something that hasn't happened.
Oh.
So, yes, I love my love movies, my old movies. So one of them that I have been raised on is 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Oh, yeah, great.
Right.
Yes.
And one of the things he does is off at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, when she has the baby and he comes in and, he wants to reconnect, he makes that little wooden rattle and he shakes a little rattle. I found one. I bought it. It was handmade wood, a little wooden rattle. I don't have kids yet, but the fact that I could find something that I love from that movie and I'm going to be able to give it to my kid, if there was a fire, I would grab it.
Yeah, yes, right. I get that.
It hasn't happened yet, but I love that little rattle.
Yeah. Your boyfriend gets left behind. I can replace you.
I can't find another rattle.
We had that too. We had a little lion that we'd bought before we even fell pregnant with Tyson, and it was like almost like this faith gift that a child is coming that will get to enjoy this little lion. That's beautiful, Sammy. Let's ask Sal. Sal, do you have any items that make you sentimental?
I am super sentimental. Just about everything makes me.
I had you muted there for a second. What was that, Sal?
I said I'm super sentimental. You probably would be able to guess that about me. I had an unusual moment last week. I was asked to give a talk for the World Day of Prayer, and I don't know if you know anything about last week's World Day of Prayer, but it was the country of that was being prayed about was England and Wales. So obviously that's probably why they asked me. They didn't know anyone else that was English. And I wrote my talk and everything like that. And it was all about Jeremiah 29:11 and exile. Perfect, right? And it was all fine. And I was happy to sort of do it. Didn't expect to be emotional. And I wasn't when I gave the talk. But the beginning of the service, they were flashing up these photos. And there was Bedouin steps. And there was places in England that were really... And it just kind of got me. And then the hymns, I was like, oh my gosh, you were kidding me. You were going to, I had to get up and speak just after great is thy faithfulness. And that one sets me off every time. And just, it was a bit crazy. So I had my teary moment in the second to last verse, got myself together and then stood up to give my talk. But music just can get me, like even, old faithful hymns like that. Definitely. Music and photos.
Yep. Yeah, and the nostalgia that brings to that point of beautiful and sentiment. Charlene, is there an item that you have that makes you a little bit sentimental?
I do keep things that for a really long time, like things I had when I was a kid, like ornaments, but they're wrapped up, put somewhere now. So I don't know where they are, but in these later years, I've probably been more sentimental about things that were given to me by family members who aren't here now. So my dad bought me some earrings when I was in my early 20s, and I've been wearing them for years. And then last year I lost one of them, and I didn't care. I kept wearing the other one, and then my kids said, "You look like a pirate," and so I've taken it off. I'm not wearing it anymore. But music also makes me feel sentimental, and but I try not to attach myself to things too much, because then I'll end up having too much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized just as you're talking about one item that I have that I do get sentimental over, and I'm holding it up to the camera. It's my dad's wedding ring, which I wear on my right hand. And every now and then I've stopped and looked at it, and just the sentimental nature of missing and, thinking about my dad. And it's just a little prompt and reminder that comes up. So I do have something that makes me sentimental. I'm not a psychopath.
No, you're not. Yeah. You're absolutely not.
Well, I mean, at least there's one piece of evidence that suggests I'm not completely a psychopath. But the conclusion's not in yet.
Anything sentimental in your world, Deb?
I surprisingly have a lot of things that I have things that both of my grandmothers gave me. I have things that my mother owned, but they don't actually mean anything to me sentimentally. It's just like I have this thing that they used to own, but I'm more attached to, like you, Susie, the photographs of my children and music. Sometimes listening to music will bring me undone very easily. I can start crying over nothing, but particularly the song Brown Eyed Girl, because that was the song that I danced with my son at his graduation. They had a mothers and sons dance and fathers and daughters dance, and that was the moment when he finished high school that I realized he was all grown up now. And every time I hear that, I have that same sort of sentimental feeling. But it's more about music, I think, and words of songs, and definitely the photographs. Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful to think about the sentimental nature, but the nostalgia, what is meaningful, what matters to you, and just those little things that bring that back is a good thing, Suze. The little prompters about what you value in life.
100%.
We're going to talk about one of the key things that I value in life. Craig has asked about something I'm very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Food. So he's asked an interesting question with a perspective here about, would you rather taste a very small amount of something that is amazing, but you can't have more, or eat lots of something that is just average? And every part of me wants to go, well, of course you go with what tastes amazing. But if it just leaves you just where you go, it's not enough, then isn't it just a tease? Like, I'm not talking about ridiculous amounts of consumption quality, but if you just get teased, it's just sometimes it's like, oh, it's not worth it because you can't follow through. So I think I'd have to say eat lots of something that's just average.
Okay.
Because it's just, there's no closure in the other option.
Because you want to eat till you're full.
Well, no, it's just like, if you have a taster of something, and if you're tasting it to go, will I choose to buy that where I can have more? But if you're never going to have enough to fulfill your hunger and your eating needs for that point, just enough to make you realize how good it is what you're missing out on, I just don't find there's any great satisfaction in that. I'd rather not have the joy in the first place.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I would rather have the experience of eating something amazing, even if it's only a little bit, then...
This is why I don't share food, but why you always want to. Just in case what I have on my plate is amazing, and then you leave me a little short of that which I enjoy. Right? We almost had a big stoush in front of the kids because you took a sip of my drink the other night. I don't share my stuff.
I was at an event the other night and it was alternate serving, but there was a spare seat next to me, so I got to choose all night what I wanted. It was great.
Yeah, we're sitting next to each other.
We don't do well with each other.
Susie goes, oh, you have the steak and I'll have the chicken. And then she goes, but can I try some of the steak? Do you want to try it? No, actually, these days you don't ask to try mine. You go, would you like to try some of mine? Which is code for I'm maneuvering to see if you will offer me back to try some of yours.
Well, we're keen to get your thoughts on this. Would you rather taste a very small amount of something that is amazing, but you can't have more, or eat lots of something that's just average? Sarah, is this a tear on your heart as you look at this question?
Absolutely. I think that's a really cruel question to even ask.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I think I changed my mind listening to you two answer. I initially thought, that I love my average food. I love a massive bowl of pasta. I love, I enjoy eating big amounts of just food. But then, Susie, you were talking about, having a little taste of different things. And I thought, well, actually, that's more me, I love nothing more than a buffet menu or a smorgasbord or something where I can just have a little try of everything. So, and some of the most memorable meals I've ever had have been those places where you just get tiny morsels, but of spectacular food. So I was going to go lots of average, but actually I think the more I think about it, I'm going to go. I want a taste of amazing food. Life's short. Let's try these amazing new things.
I take it very personally, Sarah, when you start off agreeing with me and after hearing us talk, you change to agree with Susie.
You both had a lot of wisdom on this. Question.
He'll eat that
Well
up,
done.
don't you worry.
Well done.
My husband also does not want to sit next to me when it's an alternate plate, but he's learned. He's very gracious, and he will always let me try his food. So
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that gracious husband.
I love you in other ways, Susie.
You do. Charlene, would you rather have a small amount of something amazing or lots of something average?
It is a hard one, but probably go with your one because I like to experience different things. So
yeah. See, if you got to have enough amazing things that you got satisfaction out of all the little morsels, but that's not the premise of the question. The premise of the question is you're going to be left wanting more.
I think
you're not going to have enough.
I think Sarah did actually a stunning job of making the question work in her favour before by saying a buffet of amazing food.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She broke the rules of the question. But okay, I could look. Heaven forbid that anyone calls me a stickler for the rules. I'm not pedantic about how we play the game, Suze, and about making sure we stick by the rules if I'm losing.
You're just bitter at the moment because no one's agreeing with you.
That's right.
That's all. I keep making mistakes here. That's okay. Tracy, do you want lots of something average or a little of something amazing?
Oh, everything. I mean, a bit of both. Why can't we have it all? Look, if someone offers me something that's like a escargot, like I'm not even going to try it. It might be amazing, but I'm not going to try eating a snail. Sorry. But give me a big bowl of ravioli and I'll eat it.
Snails.
So I think I'd probably go for the average.
Give the snail a go. Give the snail a go, Tracy.
She just agreed with you, Luke.
No. I'm not going for the snail.
But I had one in Vietnam. It was actually pretty good.
Was it a real one?
We had one of those ones where you had a pot in the middle and we sort of put we put the meat in the broth and it boiled like we were cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what are we paying you for if we're doing the cooking? But anyway, we did that and it was actually quite nice. I had snails and frog's legs and all sorts of things that night. It was great. Now, Lynette, we've got some issues here. She says her and her husband, Brett, always share. I struggle. I really struggle. I went to a restaurant one time with a colleague and I ordered the steak. He ordered pasta and he went, we'll just put it in the middle and we'll share. I'm like, no, we won't. Like, this was my boss, actually. He was my boss at the time. I went, I'm not sharing my steak with you. I got steak because I want to eat steak. If you wanted to eat pasta, then that's great. If you wanted to eat steak, order the steak. Who else are we going to get to answer this question?
Let's get Deb. Deb.
Getting very upset here.
Do you want a small amount of something amazing or a lot of something average?
Okay, being really evil, I would say, am I hungry? Can I have the something amazing for entree and the ordinary average for mains, but actually I think I would really pick the something amazing. So it's something sophisticated and decadent and really a treat.
Yeah.
Something that I probably wouldn't be able to have any other time or wouldn't be able to afford to try.
Yeah.
I think I'd go for the amazing.
Beautiful.
Just even the thought of just having a little bit of something that good and not being able to have any
It's
more.
hurting your heart, isn't it?
It is hurting me. It is hurting me. And I'm getting so worked up here. I'm looking at the camera and everyone's mocking me. So people are laughing at my emotions on this subject. But that's okay. I feel what I feel. We're going to wrap up with our final question, Suze.
We are.
We're going to... Are we going to play another game?
Yeah, we can play another game.
Let's play another game. Who are we going to play with? Let's play with Charlene. Charlene, we're going to give you a chance to win $50 with Gifts of Meaning and...
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
All right, Susie's going to hit you with 5 questions in 30 seconds. It's simple. It's just one or the other.
Yep.
But it just helps us to get to know you a little bit more. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, 30 seconds.
Are you ready to play, Luke?
No, I'm ready to play.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Time starts
It's okay, Charlene.
now.
A big party or a small gathering?
Small gathering.
Online shopping or in-store?
Online.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Under.
Ooh. Save or spend?
Save.
Ocean or mountains?
Mountains.
That's it. 5 questions. You did great.
All right. So I said small gathering as well. So for me, it was I like big and I like loud, but when it comes to my own personal enjoyment, I like people and I like having conversations. What was, yeah, same thing. What about for you, online versus in-store? How much online shopping do you do?
Not a lot, but I prefer to do it than go to the shops. But I end up going to the shop because if I'm shopping for my children, it has to be.
Honestly, I don't know how I lived before online shopping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
With
want
mum,
to.
I think was how we lived before you started online shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. My ultimate would be to do the groceries online, but I just haven't got the patience to go through every.
Yes.
But if you typically get the same things most times, or you have a list, and then you've got a
You
recent,
just do it once.
then you can go,
and then
go to my
order.
recent list, reorder. It just becomes easier the more times you do it. Yeah.
Okay, toilet paper over or under? What did you go, Luke?
I said under but over. So I actually have always gone under, but Susie makes me go over.
So you're actually the same as Charlene.
Yes,
Under is your
but
natural state.
I've been somewhat trained. My behavior has been modified, but my heart hasn't.
Save or spend?
Well, ultimately I'm a spender.
Yeah, you are. A
Yeah,
spender.
but you're a saver.
Well, no, I'm both. I spend, but I should save, and I would prefer to save, but I don't necessarily. But I have gotten better over the years.
Yeah.
But in principle, saving, you understand, is yes. Yeah.
And ocean versus mountain. You said mountain?
Yeah, because even though I love the ocean, I'm scared of tsunamis and things.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get it. When those things get in your head, it's really hard to shake.
I was watching these guys on a boat with this great white shark just swimming next to them. And it's enough to make you go mountain. But then I was watching a TV show with grizzly bears. And it's enough.
Go ocean.
I could probably run away from a bear faster than I could swim away from a shark. You know?
Very cool. Hey, $50 to spend at program sponsor graceifydme.com with Gifts of Meaning. Well done, Charlene.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. An absolute pleasure. Our final question to wrap things up for today. What do you do for gifts when you don't have any money to spare, like a birthday or a baby shower? Do you want to give something, you want to feel like you're giving something valuable and generous, but if you don't have the budget behind you? This is a tricky one, Suze, because nobody ever wants to feel like they're, even if people will understand, you don't want to not turn up and give something special and important. So what do you do?
Okay.
Because we've been in this situation at times in our life.
There's a couple of options, I think. One is to to write a beautiful letter from the heart that
Yeah.
has meaning and that is about the sentimental value
Yeah.
of the gift that you're giving. The other is while everybody else is distracted at the party, find the biggest gift and add your name to that gift.
from the Johnson family and Susie.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's my two suggestions.
We have to do this. That's a challenge.
Just
Sue.
come put your name on every card.
Every card. And Luke and Susie. And Luke and Susie. And because
What do you do?
Well,
You just don't bring a gift.
Well, no, I have just not brought a gift and been okay with it.
Mm.
I have also done the sentimental thing, the letter, the card.
Yeah,
but
you're
I'm not,
good at that too.
I'm okay with smithing some words, but I'm not that great at the creative, artistic. And some people are really good at making things, but that would be more of an insult than it would be a present if I tried to make something handy and crafty and beautiful. I'd somehow managed to start to try and make them a gift and break their car in the middle. And I don't know. Like I'll find a way. I'm just so not handy at all. But I can use words or make a video. And I've done that too, where I've made a video for someone and sort of there was a keepsake of something important and special for them. So probably use my creative skills.
This is a good question. I like this one. What do you do for gifts when you don't have any money to spare? Birthday, baby shower. What do you do, Sal?
This is welcome to my life. Well, what I do, and I already said I was sentimental today, I like to make things. So for a baby shower, the classic thing I love to make is something like bunting for a baby's bedroom, or I've made a nappy cake for a neighbour's baby shower that we organised. So tend to sort of go for that thing. I've printed photos before onto the kind of fabric that can go through your printer, and quilted a photo, like for an engagement photo, for an engagement present or wedding present, quilted a nice photo of the people. So basically something that is obviously has a bit of cost to it, but probably from my stash, if it's fabric, turn into something unique is my general go-to.
Yeah,
I had to Google search bunting. But now I'm with you with
it's
the
good.
sort of flaggy hanging string things with the typically the triangle.
Lynette's
hanging
go-to is
flags.
to bake.
Lynette's, she's an excellent baker. She
is.
does do that very well. Again, you probably, as far as me preparing a gift for you, if I'm baking for you, it's hit and miss. Like sometimes my banana bread will be amazing. And you'll be like, thank you, Luke. And other times you'll be waiting for me to leave so you can throw it in the bin. And I don't know.
But you don't bake a lot though, so it's not really your go-to. If it was a meal, you could cook a meal.
But I'm still hit and miss. Sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it's not.
When it's good, it's really good though.
That's right. And then when it's bad, our friends can't even be polite enough. They're like, I'm sorry, dude, I can't eat this.
Yeah, they will. They will say that. Trish, what's your go-to if you don't have any money to spare for gifts?
I like the idea of like maybe a gift voucher, like a homemade gift voucher, saying that, especially if it's a baby shower, I'm offering babysitting for a night out for you and your husband, or a birthday. I'm a cook. Like I like to feed people, so I'll make something to eat, to share, or that sort of stuff.
You know, two of the gifts that were really meaningful when we had the twins, and it was kind of overwhelming, and I got a bit down, as a lot of mums do. We had one friend who would come and clean my house. It was magnificent. And another friend she set a time and she came over one day and she cooked our dinner, but she did it all completely in our house, so that she was there the whole time with me, and she did all the cooking, she did everything, and then she cleaned everything up and she left. And it was just
Can we get her back on my cooking night?
Yeah.
Can we do that? That'd be great.
It was very nice.
It just prompted me with what you said about the babysitting voucher, because Trish, in our last few years of our life, we have not gone on many date nights and hung out together. And none of it has been because we couldn't afford to do the thing and go out for dinner or go to the movies. It was just the hassle of planning and going to the effort, working out the babysitting and who was going to look after the kids. And if you've got someone in your world who says, like, it's not even about the money, like, go, I've got it. I'm going to come over and I'm going to make sure that you've got time to prepare and you don't have to organize anything for me. Like if you had someone do that, like Suze, we would just,
100%.
no money involved, and they would be the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
I run a babysitting service and a nanny service, and the amount of families that I find that say to me, I had one lady who's been married for 15 years and they've been out about 3 times, because they didn't have, someone in their world that would be able to babysit their kids, or that they felt comfortable to babysit their kids. So that's very common,
isn't it?
very common thing. So it's just something like that that's really practical. I think that people really appreciate. So
definitely.
Sarah, what about you? And if the budget's to keep it to low, what would you do when you don't have the resources to give the gift that you want to give? What will you do instead?
I'm trying to decide how honest I'm prepared to be with you on this answer, because and I'm blessed that usually there is money to spare for things like this, but I'm also a little bit weird and neurotic in that I put a lot of pressure on myself to want to give the perfect gift, and sometimes I just then panic and can't give a gift because I can't think of what's perfect. Gifting's not really my love language, so I find it tricky, but I have been known on many occasions to re-gift. So just lovely people give me lovely things, and that's lovely of them, but I don't necessarily need them, or, I enjoy the receiving of them because that's beautiful, but then there's my joy. I don't need to then use it or whatever. So if I can re-gift something lovely, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
And
many a bottle of wine has come through our house where it's been to us and passed on.
I've felt very blessed by being given that, and I'm happy to bless the next person by passing it on. So I do re-gift, and I also, depends on who it is. If it's things like birthdays, if it's especially if it's family, I've been known to be months late with birthday presents because I'll just delay until I can think of the perfect thing. But again, all of those things, so many people have got great suggestions, and I guess I've done all of those. I'll bake, I'll cook, and we've certainly in our household, we've big family, and we've done lots of the homemade vouchers. A night out with us, a night out without your kids, a night out, whatever, those vouchers of acts of service. That's more where my love languages lie.
So let me give you some comfort here, because you sound like you're still carrying a little bit of hesitation over your re-gifting pattern. But let's just say that whenever you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't re-gift, think of my Nana. My Nana was the ultimate re-gifter, but in the most offensive but beautiful way. So a lot of people will go, oh, thank you so much. That's lovely. And then secretly, weeks, months later, will re-gift that to somebody else. My Nana would just give it back. She'd go, oh, that's lovely. I've got no use for this. Here, have it back. And so as kids, we started to say to Mum and Dad, can we just buy Nana something that we want? Because it's like, the more we try and buy it for her, like, she's got no need for anything, and then we just end up with some old lady's things.
Our son then did that when he bought Luke's mum a skateboard.
Who was on an invalid pension at the time, I might add. And he wanted to buy her.
He's a genius.
Yes. It's just no surprise. We've got a skateboard out now, front porch. So there's the ultimate re-gifter for you, Sarah.
There you go. I like I said, I don't do it. I don't certainly never do it trying to offend people or because I don't like things. It's often the opposite, that actually a gift has really touched me, and I want to touch the next person in that way. So pass it on.
Totally get that. That's lovely.
Well, that wraps us up for a big session today. Thank you, everyone who's been involved, and Charlene and Sal and Debbie and Trish and Sam and Sarah and Tracy and Steve was here for a bit. We didn't get to chat to him. I don't know what happened there, but for everyone who's been watching online as well, make sure if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell and get notifications when we've got stuff going on and new videos coming out. As if you're on Facebook, then the Luke and Susie Facebook community is a way you can get in touch and stay chatting and be a part of what we do each and every day. And it's great to have you, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you. Bye.